Deni Hines, welcome to the Sound Museum.
Thank you so much, darling sweetheart. How are you today?
It's so good to see you. Now, finally, they've got some new music from you. It's about time. The Tokyo Sessions, you wrote the
Yes,
songs during lockdown.
yes, I did.
Now, I'm in Melbourne, and that was the most lockdown city
In the
in the
world.
world, right? How was that experience for you? What did you learn about the whole experience?
I loved the lockdown. Okay. I was in Bangkok for it. We've been here for 7 years, and I loved it because for me, it actually gave me no excuses to do the things that I wanted to do that I'd always said, oh, I don't have time to do it now. I've got to go here. I've got to do that. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. I wasn't going anywhere. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't do anything. I was stuck in my four walls. So I got very productive and I loved it. I spent every night recording, writing songs because I, I said I want another pandemic to write another album. Sorry.
Inspiration, right? It was a crazy time, but for a singer-songwriter, it's time to sort of breathe, take a step back, and just do what
What you want to do?
you want.
I was literally in my studio writing and singing it, and it was so hot, Leo. I called it before it was the Tokyo sessions, it was the naked sessions because you can't have any aircon while you're doing vocals because you'll pick it up. And I couldn't wear
Yeah.
clothes. Man, I was sweating like a one-armed bricklayer in like at nighttime trying to do these vocals because I did all the demos for the album. I sang everything, did all the backing vocals, and then when I got to Japan, I thought I was going to be able to use my backing vocals, but I had to sing everything again. But anyway,
As you do.
as you do. But
Talking
yeah.
about your band based in
Oh,
Japan, where did you find them? Because listening to this record, they sound effing fantastic.
oh, Leo.
They sound incredible. This,
They are. They are. They
where did
are.
you find them?
They came to Thailand to do a Japanese music festival. And I was singing with some friends, actually a friend of mine who's been here for like 27 years, who actually worked with Yothu Yindi, just to throw that in there, in Australia. He's from bloody Ireland, Keith. And anyway, I was singing with Keith, and they came in with this promoter who had brought them from Japan, and he was my age. And whenever I met or meet anybody from Japan, I always tell them, our big hits. I wrote a song for a Japanese TV show, like, you know me in Japan. And he did. And these kids don't. I mean, these are children. I'm 54 in a minute. These kids, they're 30 something, not even 40 yet. They knew about me because it's really weird. Like, my success in Japan was quite crazy. Imagination, the album was put into some music book because my backing vocalist said he was in high school and went to the university and he found this book and my songs were in it and he discovered me, and that's how he found out. It was really weird. Because the song I wrote with the Japanese TV show was with, and you should Google who he is because I've forgotten. He was the composer who wrote Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. He was a Japanese composer.
Yes.
And I wrote he flew to Melbourne and I wrote a TV song called Dream Your Dream, which ended up being like the neighbors for a Japanese show for like 15 years on Japanese TV. So I broke into domestic market
And you wrote
and
it.
I wrote it and I sang it.
So you get royalties for that up until today.
Yes. And it's in the
Oh my
karaoke, but I
God.
can't sing it because I only recorded it. I sang it the day I recorded it.
Whoa, dream your dream, cause it's yours, take control of all you want, cause it's there for the taking. Anything you want, you can have. Just look inside where the truth can't hide.
Yeah, I've never had to sing it again. He flew out. Anyway, you get to the band, but he flew out, and because of that, maybe that business of working with him,
Yeah.
my backing vocalist, who was with this man at the time, was like, I know about you and I know your music. And so they sang, it was like a jam session. They got up and played and I sang with them and it was really cool. And then they said, Ricky said, I want to bring you to Japan. I want to play your album. So Daniel and I sent them the soul sessions. They went back to Japan, and then about 4 or 5 months later, they flew back to Bangkok. There's like 12 people in this band. They got out of a van. It was just like, it never stopped. Like, and we went into a rehearsal room and they played soul sessions from top to bottom. Now you've got to understand, I played with them once. They went away for 5 months. I didn't see them again. And then they came, and Daniel and I were in this rehearsal room, and I'm always, cautious. Someone's playing my stuff. They don't really know my stuff. They could do it well. They might not. Daniel and I were standing there. I'm about to sing. It starts with Memphis Soul Stew, the first track on our soul sessions. They played this shit. I dropped the mic. I was just like, I'm out.
Wow. That good.
Oh, and I'm glad that you picked it up on the musicianship on the album, because Leo, we recorded this in 6 days. We recorded this live.
So the vocals were done with the band?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I did leads with the band, and then I came back and did the backing vocals with myself and the band. Music, headphones.
Oh.
Yeah, we recorded this live in 6 days and between 3 different studios. But I've got to say, when I work with these boys, they push me to be a different league of singer. I swear to God, they push me, and they look at me and say, I push them to be a different league of musicians. So the synergy between the two of us, I'm glad you can hear it on the album, because this band make me so, they're the best musicians I've ever worked with. They're just amazing. They're Japanese, man. They don't fuck around.
You said on your Instagram live that this album is an album for a record for mature ears.
Would you think so?
And oh my God, yes. Totally. I mean, there's no song less than 4 minutes. It's just music. You're so amazing on this record. The vocals are just amazing. I want to touch on the lead single, Breathe, because
Yes.
I think we all can relate to this, because sometimes life just gets too much things in the way, and sometimes you just need to breathe.
In life, there's times when nothing ever seems to turn out right. Just know inside everything is changing. Static don't describe life.
Well, we forget to breathe. And I've started doing yoga, Leo, for like nearly a year now, 5 days a week. And we breathe, and I hold my breath for a minute, and I love it. I want to go to like 2. I just love that whole thing. But when we breathe, and especially when you're stressed out, you breathe really shallow. It's the chest. And not many people breathe to the diaphragm or are aware of even breathing deeply to the diaphragm. And that is a better way of like taking in oxygen into your lungs and into your stomach and just taking it fully in. Because I'm a singer, I'm aware of that stuff. But breathe. And especially when you're stressed out, the last thing you want to fucking do is breathe. You're like, but also in that song, it's like even the shittiest things that you've had to deal with, and you're about to enter 50. I'm in my 50s, and Lord knows if you're lucky to get that far in life, you've had some shit happen to you. That shit has made me in the person that I am. You can either take it and lay down and play victim to it, or you can stand up, fight it, and just go, that's who I was. It's part of the fabric of who I am.
Feel, this is about your dad.
Yes.
And it breaks my heart when I listen to this, because I had an amazing dad. I lost dad in 2013. And this song is so honest, so heartfelt.
So I don't feel what you like me to feel, and I don't want or even need to talk to you. I don't feel anything that you feel.
I had an amazing dad. You had a dad which was never around. And to put that experience into a song and be so
it came
honest.
after a phone conversation that I had with him like 10 years ago. Because, so I've had 3 conversations with him in my life.
Yes.
One when I was 5 that I talk about.
That's heartbreaking at the start of the song.
Yeah. And then the second one was when in my 20s, and then in my 30s. I'm now in my 50s. I haven't spoken to him. I blocked him on social media. I'm done. He's a dick. Anyway, I came to a friend of mine, Glenn Cunningham, who's an amazing singer-songwriter, and we were doing a writing session in Sydney. And I came and he just looked at me and said, Den, what's wrong? I said, I just got off the phone with this dickhead. Like, and I just couldn't, the conversation was crazy, like crazy. And so I was telling him about it because I literally said to him on the phone, like, dude, I don't know you. I know my cat, who's now 23. I know my cat better than you. Like, I really don't know you. And I don't care if I hurt your feelings because I don't know you. I'm a Virgo. I'm like, see you next Tuesday. But anyway, and then I came to this writing session and I just was like, I spoke to this guy when I was 5 and da-da-da-da, and now he wants to do this and da, and needs conversations. I just can't do it. And so Glenn and I wrote this song. And yes, I think, I mean, it's interesting because I wrote this a long time ago and I've been waiting for this to come out. And Glenn and I have been waiting for this to come out. And I have a big presence on TikTok. And when I released this song, it's really interesting for me because I know I had this experience. But to have other people come to me and leave me messages saying that this song brought them to tears, which I've got to say, Leo, that was my fucking goal. This is not a happy song. This is a story. This is not a nice story, but it's a story. And
it's your story.
It's my story, yeah. And I've never spoken about it before. I've never felt the need to spoke about it before. And the thing is, I'm not singing this song saying, I need your attention. I need you to give me this. I need you to accept me. I don't feel what you want me to feel. Like I don't want or need anything from you.
Yeah, it's a really amazing song, and it's just so heartfelt, and that just really sort of got me because I don't have that experience with my dad, you know.
No, but that's so good though, because that's what a good dad is, Leo. That's what a good dad is. And I got friends who've got good dads, but I tell you, when I meet guys that aren't good dads, oh dear, they get the brunt of me. They get the brunt of a girl who didn't have a father. It's not a nice experience for them.
Speaking of guys, there's a track on the album which I think is for your husband, Can't Wait. A sexy, smooth track.
I know who I wrote that about. I was
Getting down and dirty. What's this about, girl?
Hey, listen, didn't you ever listen to any of my albums? You want to go between the sheets because you got me all wet, the taste of me. Yeah. Like, gee, I'm being tame right now, getting down and dirty, doing things that grown folks do. I'm not getting into details.
But I love that track, by the way.
It is because Kengo, the guitarist, when it switches into that mode, it gets dirty. The funk, it gets groovy. The funk is nasty. So I just had to take getting down and dirty. Like the musicians are getting, we're getting down and dirty, doing things that grown folks do. It's good.
It's really good. And Saturday Night is a disco jam.
I love Saturday Night. How clever am I in my chorus with the disco titles?
The disco with the hustle and the So
you should be dancing Don't Leave Me This Way. In September, I had a love hangover.
Yes. Yeah. That track is that.
And I never went to Studio 54.
Yeah, next single.
Well, that's the single that Ricky was talking about for Japan.
It's really good.
Yeah, that was
really catchy. So that one is about, on the dance floor,
going out with your friends
together, having a bit of a
back when the DJ used to save your life,
Yes. Having a song called Lockdown on the album, that when people listen to this, they're gonna say, what the hell happened in like 2020, 21?
I know.
Crazy.
I know. It's weird because I did that through the lockdown. I got sent music from Ricky. He was in Tokyo. Kengo was in Osaka. They sent all this music through, and Lockdown was one of the first pieces that I wrote. And I was like, it can't go outside, can't feel. What am I going to write about? Because COVID-19. And it was true. Like, it was basically 6 months ago, I'd flying back from Japan. And when I was flying back that time, I arrived at Tokyo airport and everybody was wearing masks. I got into Bangkok and there were thermal fucking temperature scanners at the airport. And 2 weeks later, we went into a lockdown. Wow. I had just left Japan. So it was like, when I wrote this song, it's like 3 weeks ago, I was in Japan. But now I say 2-3 years ago, because it was that long ago when I was in Japan. But yeah, it was, because COVID-19 had taken all the fun away, and but I love the fact that I rhymed pathogen in a song. Like, Jesus, that's when you got time on your hands.
Aside from the original songs, there's some covers on this record. Hallelujah.
Do you like?
Oh my goodness.
I'm scared about people's reaction to that. Daniel loves it. It brought him to tears.
Such an amazing song. Your vocals on that track are just sublime. Sublime. Honestly, it's
it's a big song to take on.
it's a big thing.
I loved it. I did that naked sessions in the studio in the back in lockdown, and I just like Leonard Cohen, man. I tell you what, though, if he'd ever sung it, and I never heard Jeff Buckley, there's no way he could have sold that song to me, because he was not a singer, but fuck, he could write a lyric. And when I'm singing that song, like the lyrics, and she cuts your hair, like the way that like it's just haunting. It's just, and I want like all those. That's all me, Leo, doing all those fucking Gregorian little fucking harmonies and shit.
Yeah, I know.
Easy.
And
too much. My hands locked down. Oh, another harmony. Oh yeah, I could do another one there. Oh yeah, high one there. Oh yeah, another one there.
So you love doing background vocals as much as lead vocals?
I was a backing vocalist before I was a lead vocalist.
I know. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I'm a control freak, because I know what I want. I know what I want it to sound like. I know what the swells. I know the tone. I know the timbre. And to try and tell that to somebody else takes too long. I've got two fantastic Japanese backing vocalist. Actually, he sings on In the Stone with me, and he sings on Feel with me.
There's the Elton John cover on this record, which I didn't know.
I love it.
That cover at all, because it was like, yeah, I didn't know it, but I loved your version.
You don't know the song?
I don't know the song or his version, so
okay. Now that you've heard my version, listen to Bernie and Elton's 1974.
I've done that as well. But I still prefer your version. I'm not saying it just because of your hair, but I really preferred your version.
I love that song. Bernie and Elton, they were onto a thing. I first heard another remake of that by a band called Buttshot LaFunk, who was Branford Marsalis and Frank McComb and some other guys. Frank McComb's a fucking amazing singer, if you don't know who he is, singer, keyboard player. And he had done a version of Mona Lisa and Mad Hatters. That was really fucking sweet. I mean, Branford Marsalis. I mean, come on now. And I heard that. And so my remake of it is more the tip of his than Elton's, because Elton's is very slow and piano, but the Branford Marsalis is very funky. So yeah, I played it to the boys and they were like, yeah, oh yeah. And okay, there's just something I thought I knew. Clack, that snare hits the thing. That was something that will always haunt me, because when I was doing the vocals next door, it was just me. Because I opened that, I thought I knew. Clack. And it's just me and the drummer for a second. I'm like, oh, and I know when I do it live, I'm going to look at him. I thought I knew to do it, because it's something I'm just clack. It's just sonic things I'm used to hearing when I'm singing. And because that was such an isolated experience, doing all these arrangements in a lockdown and then taking it to Japan, or sending it to Japan on emails and then doing it in Japan, it was just, yeah. I actually liked that process because I didn't have any pressure. You know what I mean? I had all the creative control in the world with my vocals and shit, and they really liked what I did vocally.
Rufus and Shaka Khan, that song Smoking Room came out when I was born, 1970.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. I was 4. Shut up. I was 4.
Clocking in over 7 minutes, that song. Love that one. So good. I met Shaka Khan when she was in Melbourne.
I supported Shaka Khan.
Oh, really?
Yes, really.
Did you meet her?
Yes. I sat like this by the stage.
Oh,
I love her.
She's
a dog called Rufus. What are you talking about, man? Had a dog called Rufus. But when I did this vocal, I love you, Shaka, but it was the 70s and she was doing D-Rugs back in the day. She's clean now. But in 1974, she was doing the D-Rugs. All right. And they looked at me at 2:00 in the afternoon in Tokyo and said, we're doing Deni-san, smoking room. What? What? Now? You're cracking jokes, aren't you? There's a note that I hit in that song, that she hits in that song, that I describe as you're just having a lovely bushwalk with your friends. And all of a sudden you see this fucking mountain that you've got to go over. Now, you don't need to have a picnic on it. You don't need to look at the view. You just need to walk up to the top and get the fuck down as quickly as possible. And that's that note. And my friends in the band, they all, because it's 2:00 in the afternoon, Leo, and I'm like, there's no way. I should be doing this at 9, 10 at night, maybe.
Yeah.
And so that Ricky called the band and they all came in and put their hands on the glass while I attempted that note 3 times. Third time I got it. I've got to fucking sing it live. I'm shitting bricks.
The new album, The Take Sessions, is out now. Make sure you stream it on your favorite streaming service. Get it from iTunes,
Spotify, YouTube,
Spotify. Yeah, listen to it, stream it, love it, like it.
Tell your friends to tell their friends, to tell their friends, to tell their friends, to tell their friends.
Exactly. Get those streaming numbers up. If you are of mature age, you will love this album. Amazing vocals, great production, amazing band. Bye for that. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.